The national champion is clad in big orange.
The pitch. Swing and a miss. That's the ball game. The national champion is clad in big orange.
At Summit and Destiny have met 7 times before. Tonight is number 8.
Tennessee Volunteers have wrapped up an SEC outright regular season title. Connect with
the SEC runs through Rocky Top. Tennessee wins the SEC regular season crown for the 2nd consecutive season.
the 1-0. Indiana, left center field. Ross on the move. Rock it there. Tennessee walks it off. It's a mismatch. Deep range. Come on now. And don't connect. Rocky trying it this time. Indeed. New hand there. Down the middle. Got it on the fly. It's high and again. And he's going to take it. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Hey, how much fun is this?
Man, Rocky Top. This is college football and it's got to be back.
This college athletics is absolute best, man. Sorry about my mic being muted there. We are back, man. It is game week. We are so excited for this episode tonight. We've been waiting all summer long, really all spring and summer long, for football to be back with us. But it's finally here. We're 2 days away from Tennessee football. Skylar, man, how you doing tonight?
I mean, come on, man. How much better can it get? We're 3 days away. It is football time in Tennessee, and I guess we're 2 days away. It's Thursday night. So, no, man, lots going on. We are traveling up the river right now to get ready for Vol Navy next week. But obviously, we got business to take care of this week, and we're certainly not overlooking that game coming up. But we got a lot of good stuff coming at you this episode. We got several guests on the show. And, Michael, how about you give us that rundown?
Yeah, so rundown for tonight, segment 1, we've got our good friend Brandon Millard that is going to be joining the show. Going to be doing some college football projections, some ratings this year for teams, the model that he created, kind of see what his model says about different teams, especially the SEC teams. Segment 2, Skylar and I are going to give our Tennessee predictions for this year. Look at Tennessee's schedule and make our predictions. During that, we're going to give a brief kind of overview of Syracuse. Not a whole lot to talk about there, really. And then segment 3 is the best segment of them all, other than Raking with Jake, of course. But the best segment of all, it is the pick segment. We're going to make our SEC Week 1 predictions. And then, of course, Raking with Jake is going to be back at the end of the episode as well. Everybody's favorite segment of the show. But, Skylar, let's get right into this. Why don't you give us our presenting show sponsor?
That's
and I
right.
can give you our segment 1 sponsor.
That's right. We already know it's Chris Smith Insurance. You know, as a homeowner, Chris Smith was once let down by an insurance company. So he started his own agency where instead of feeling like a big company is fighting against you, you'll know that your agent is fighting for you. All insurance is not equal. Trust the Chris Smith Insurance out of Oak Ridge, Tennessee today. Give him a call at 865-272-3387. Again, guys, Chris he's not just going to find you the best rate, right? Getting cheap insurance. I mean, you honestly what you pay for. But what Chris is going to do is give you options and also get you the best coverage. That way, if that accident does ever happen, you don't necessarily have to worry about not being covered. You have that peace of mind knowing that you're taken care of. And that's what Chris does so well. And he supports the Vols, and he supports our show, and we couldn't thank him more for it. So thank you, Chris, for your continued support. Michael, I'm pretty excited. Before we get too far, did you not see what just happened breaking as of like 2 hours ago?
So I've got 2 bits of news, but the biggest one I'll let you hit first.
I mean, we got him. It's Tristan Keys. We now have 2 number 1 overall players in their respective positions in the class of 2026. According to 247, we now are bumped up to the 8th spot in the recruiting rankings. And what excites me overall is we have 3 5-stars. And Gabriel Ascenda, Tristan Keys,
Faison
Brandon. We already know that. But what I'm saying is, like, you're starting to see that shift, man. We've been so defensive-minded. Now you're seeing Heupel go to work on the offensive side of the ball. And I'm really excited about this class. I'm really excited about it.
I am as well. Before I get into my bit of news here, Jade, who's in, look at Cupcake on the boat there. Yeah, so Skylar is on the boat, taking it up the river. If there is a little bit of lagging issues, it is because of that. But right now, Skylar's pretty good out there as far as the service goes. So my bit of news on the Tennessee side of things. Obviously, Tristan Keys topped the cake, that news there. But another bit of news, just a very slight news into Tennessee basketball. Rick Barnes today,
Yes.
he signed a lifetime contract with Tennessee.
Yes.
So
Have you ever heard of this?
Yes, John Calipari signed one with Kentucky. That's the only other one that I know of that has happened. And obviously, you see where Calipari is now. But with this lifetime contract, what that means is, as long as Rick Barnes wants to coach, he has a contract at Tennessee, and that's exactly what Danny White should have done. There's no better coach that Tennessee could have right now. I mean, if you were to get rid of Rick Barnes for any such reason, which right now there's no reason to. You've made the Elite Eight 2 years in a row, and it's only the second and third times in school history that it's happened. Who else are you going to go get? There's nobody else better than Rick Barnes for the Tennessee program right now. This is absolutely what should happen. So until Rick Barnes decides to retire, he will have a job at the University of Tennessee as a head basketball coach. Not to mention, yesterday, day before, I believe it was 2 days ago, Josh Heupel gets an extension through the year 2030.
2030. Yes, sir. I like to see it.
Danny White is doing exactly what he needs to do to keep his staff on campus there. It's great to see what Tennessee is doing right now. So that's it with the breaking news right now. Let's get right into this thing. Our segment one sponsor, it is Optimal Asbestos Services. Optimal Asbestos Services offers detailed asbestos inspections and air quality assessments. Whether you're looking to secure your home or workplace, you can trust Optimal Asbestos Services to deliver thorough and reliable solutions. You can contact Jeff Mull at 865-223-3297 for your consultation today, or go on the web at optimalasbestosservices.com. So, Skylar, do you want to introduce our guest that's coming on for segment one tonight?
Yeah, actually, it's a good friend of mine who I got to know as soon as I moved to Knoxville, and then he dipped on me. He went to go explore some new things out in, I think, the Nashville area, somewhere around there. But, he knows Knoxville's home, right? He got the opportunity to come back, and he hasn't been back that long, but he's got this new system that I want to talk about. He's got some sort of rating system, kind of like, if I could compare it to Josh Pate, how he does ratings, not rankings. So kind of like on any given Saturday, who would be favored against who on a neutral field. And he's got some interesting takes on this, and I'm specifically interested in one team that isn't even in the SEC, and I can't wait to bring him on. So without further ado, it's my guy, Brandon Miller. Come on. What's up, big dog?
There we go. How's it going, Brandon? Welcome to the show.
What's going on? Yeah, definitely glad to be back in Knoxville. My wife and I, we have a 6-month-old little girl, so that prompted some of the discussions. But, man, ever since we've been back, we're happy to be here. And I'm glad you hit on Tristan Keys. I was going to see if y'all were going to lead off with that if we got on.
I mean, it's pretty big news, man, but congratulations on the newborn, and welcome back to K-Town, big dog. And without further ado, I guess just let the folks know a little bit about what you do and what you're doing with this rating system. Tell us a little bit about it before we dive into which teams where.
Yes, I was going to say, overall, just a little bit about me. I met Skylar, as he was saying, as he just moved here because I'm a financial advisor, and Skylar come to a coffee and connect with the chamber that was at my office. So we hit it off, and then I left him about a month later. With this model, I'm a huge sports fan, particularly football. And Josh Pate, I'm a huge fan of the show. And I just was watching it, and I love Excel. I've made spreadsheets for fantasy football before in the past just to know who I was going to play. And I told my wife, I said, I bet I can, at least attempt it. So last year was the first year, and I was 60% money line, 48% against the spread. So with a little more creativity and some help from ChatGPT, we've got a new revamped model for this season.
There we go.
That's awesome.
That's what I'm talking about. So I guess, how do you want to do the ranking? Do you want to start from the bottom and work your way up, or do you want to start at the top and work your way down?
Let's start from the bottom.
Let's do it. So who you got at the 25 spot?
So 25 is Arizona State, followed by SMU, Nebraska, Colorado, Indiana, and then USC is 20.
So your 20 through 25 doesn't include, just right off the top, not a single SEC team.
No, and interesting note there, Colorado, who's projected 5.5 wins, is my highest rated Big 12 team.
Wow. Interesting.
Okay. So all right. So what are we going, like, what is the model? Like, does it have like a percentage on what goes by what? Like, is it returning production? Is it projected starting? I don't know. Like, what kind of goes into this model and what projects these teams to be where?
Yeah, so a few notes I wrote down. Number one, this is Power 4 teams plus Notre Dame. Didn't want to get too involved with the G5 yet. I wanted to get really good with the games that I'm actually paying a lot of attention to. And
Sure.
With the roster, it's pretty simple. I got both the roster ranking and the transfer portal ranking from On3. And then I incorporated the blue chip ratio, which is obviously what percent of your team is 4 and 5 stars. And then for production, didn't want to put too many stats in as far as yards and scoring, because obviously that was last year's program. However, I took the scoring, offense, and defense for 2024, and I actually used a percentage of the returning production so I could mathematically put in how much of that production is actually coming back.
Right on. It's not a bad idea there. And especially with the returning production, like if a team has 6 or more starters returning on that side of the ball, you have to assume some sort of projection that they're going to get better as a unit. So, I mean,
Right.
I do like that type of projection. But, all right, well, then what's your 19 through 15, I guess?
So last thing to know, and it'll be important with these teams, the only thing that's my opinion is QB stability. So I ranked them from 50 to 100, 50 being the bottom. I actually put Tennessee at a 50, and you'll be surprised where they are. And that's no slight. I just didn't want to I wanted to take as much bias as I could out of
Sure.
it. And I actually gave Cade Klubnik the only 100.
Honestly,
So,
I think that's fair right there.
so with that in mind, at number 19 is Oklahoma, followed by South Carolina, Missouri, Auburn, and then 15 is Clemson.
There they are.
Ooh, Clemson
There's the
at
SEC
15.
I'm telling you, that's the team. So, spoiler, that's the team I was super curious about because, I mean, Michael, looking really every major analyst in the game, I mean, they're saying that this is Clemson's year. You know, they've got him ranked in the top 5, whatnot. I mean, Cade Klubnik, this is supposed to be his Heisman campaign type year. So, I am very interested. Why, Brendan? Why is the model so low on him?
Well, in real life, the schedule's not, overly difficult. This year they've got LSU and South Carolina, but that has nothing to do with the ACC.
Sure.
Their roster score is below 90, and their blue chip ratio is below 50. Now they've got the players in the right spots that they do have. Obviously, with Cade Klubnik being the highest QB I rated. Transfer portal rankings were 2, and that's basically not hurting or helping because they don't do much there.
Right.
And their returning production was super high on offense, but their defense 2024 scoring was like 24 points a game, so the split wasn't great. And then obviously there actually was a little bit of a strength of schedule booster from last year. So if you had a great 2024 scoring defense and offense, and for example, you were Georgia who played every great team on the road, they got a boost for that. And Clemson didn't get a boost there.
Yeah,
Right on.
understandable.
That blows my mind, man. I like it because if you're right, you're genius and you're the only one that's done it. I really do feel like that because, I mean, Clemson is the front runner. What other team in the ACC is really pushing them this year? Miami, do we have a belief in Miami? Do we have belief in Louisville? I've heard great things out of Louisville.
Is SMU going to be that team again this year?
North Carolina with Bill Belichick?
Nah, North Carolina won't even have a winning record. That's probably a hot take.
Fair enough. I don't know. I just holy golden hour, by the way, on the boat. This is a great sunset. Do I not look
that's a
fabulous?
fantastic
You're
view.
looking good.
I look great right now, dude. No,
Jake might disagree in the background. He might disagree on it, but
it's fine. I mean, my skin. I look like Donald Trump right now. I'm so orange, dude. It's fine. Anyways, all right, Brandon. What is the top 15, big dog?
All right, so Michigan at 14, Florida at 13, Ole Miss 12, LSU 11, and Miami 10. Miami's the highest ACC team that I've got. And then
Okay, I like it.
heading into the next 5, Notre Dame at 9, Tennessee at 8, Texas A&M at 7, Penn State and Georgia round out 6 and 5.
So for Tennessee, I'm guessing that having Alabama and Florida on the road really helps them out as far as that goes, and then having a lot of returners on defense, that probably really bumps them up some.
Yeah, so just to be specific, the strength of schedule was for last year to boost. So last year's schedule to boost the 2024 scoring.
Gotcha.
Offense.
Okay, gotcha.
It did help a little bit, but yeah, their defense being, what was that? I think 16 points a game and a lot of returning production that helped a bunch. I mean, the roster's outstanding according to all the rating sources, and of course, it just got better today. But the quarterback's really the question: is it going to play out what the rest of the roster needs, which I don't think has to be very good.
I think I agree with that because, I mean, obviously there's questions at the wide receiver spot for Tennessee, but if you get quarterback play, like even decent quarterback play, does that not lift the wide receiver room? Now, obviously that's kind of a back and forth thing, like the wide receivers have to help the quarterback too, but overall, I mean, I kind of feel like even though our receiver room this year is a lot less experienced and a lot newer, maybe they're a little bit more talented, and dare I say they get better production out of the quarterback position, which is in return going to make the production of the wide receiver room a little bit better, right? Maybe? Am I on the right track there?
See, I feel great about it because how good is it to say you have a wide receiver question and one of them's a 5-star? And then,
fair point.
Braylon Staley, I think, is going to be really good. And, of course, the freshman, they're saying some really good things out of camp.
Travis Smith Jr. and or Rodarius Jackson are going to be ballers.
Right.
I'm saying it right now. So, yeah, I agree with you. And I think that's why I'm even more confident that even if Mike Matthews isn't 100% healthy, I'm really excited to see what the guys behind him do. I mean, like, I don't know. I think you're spot on with that. It is just going to –
No, I was just going to say, in here with the ratings and the way it works, I still ran the simulations. They still went 9-3 as the number 8 rated team. So, for and I debated saying this today, but in my playoff projections after running the simulations, they were number 13. They were the first team out. So it broke my heart a little bit.
Listen,
All
leave that energy out of here. I mean, we don't need that energy. We're going undefeated this year. We're winning the national title. We're Tennessee fans. That's the expectation. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't even need to hear the top 5. Let's just get the man off the show right now. No, I agree with it though. I think with the 9-3 season, I don't think we deserve to be in the playoff. I don't care how that 9-3 happens. I just truly feel that way, and I feel that way really with any team. You lose a quarter of your games of the season. I just don't feel like that's playoff worthy. I don't care how good your schedule is or whatnot. So, but no, all right. It's drum roll time. It's time for the top 5. What do we got in the top 5? I got a good idea about really all of them, but I don't know what order you got them in.
So guess number 5 then.
Number 5 is Alabama.
5 is Alabama.
Georgia.
Oh, okay.
And actually, a side note, the one I posted on Facebook had Alabama 1, and I'll spoil it. They're not because there was one thing that I left out that I thought was
okay.
But
to be fair, I definitely looked at the Facebook post, but I only paid attention to Clemson because they were so low. So, fair enough.
All right, number 4 is Oregon. Number 3 is Bama. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 1, Texas.
Yeah.
Penn State. No, Texas. Yeah.
I feel really good about 1 and 2 because Vegas has Ohio State at 1.5, and I've got them at 2. Which makes me think that I'm really close on how they view these teams. So that being said, Texas and Ohio State are split by 0.3 of a point. So you add in 2.5 for home field advantage or 2, depending on how you feel about that. That's why Ohio State's number the way it is. Texas is actually less than half a point better right now.
Now, I got a question for you because, we're going to refer back to Josh Pate because that's a familiar comparison here. Does your opinion on these teams, does your model change on these teams on a given outcome? Like if Ohio State beats Texas by 10 points, let's say it's a dogfight, but ends up being 24-14, whatever. Does that dramatically, would that dramatically change your model any?
Shouldn't. I mean, after the preseason, Obviously, there's not a lot of numbers involved as what's going
Sure.
on the field. Once you add all that in, it could, but I mean, to think that they'd be outside of the top 3 would be, I would think, out of the question. Alabama's 98.1, and Texas was at 100. The top team starts at 100, and so Alabama's less than 2 points behind Texas, and then a little bit of a drop off there. Georgia and Oregon being about 96.
So is the model kind of high on these newer quarterbacks, though? I mean, like Alabama's got Ty Simpson, obviously Arch Manning taking over for Texas. Ohio State's got a new quarterback. So, I mean, are they just Oregon has a new quarterback, I believe. It's just are they kind of high on these recruits, or do they just, I don't know, like what's behind that?
So the quarterback was a really small percentage. It's
Okay.
more the heaviest part of the weight to me was talent on the field. So overall roster plus blue chip ratio.
Blue chip
I mean,
ratio.
Alabama and Oregon. So Alabama's blue chip ratio is 80%. Oregon's was 94.
Right on. Well, I hear it all the time that like the previous 20 national champions had to have a blue chip ratio of over 60% or whatever the exact number is. So I mean, I definitely understand the higher the blue chip ratio, obviously, is going to be coincidental and consequential on how far you can make it to the playoff. I mean, if you're under talented, I mean, at the end of the day, depth and talent do matter on the football field, and so I definitely understand.
If you want a nugget for today, Tennessee's was at 64%.
Oh, so you're saying there's a chance?
They're qualified. They're qualified.
They are. I think they're one of 18 teams going into the year. I think that have that percentage where you want it. But who knows, man? So Brandon, I guess on your model, you said you feel really good about the 1 and 2 because you've already seen what the line is on those two particular teams, and obviously it's not neutral site; it's at Ohio State. What other team or teams on the model that you feel like you've kind of nailed and you just don't know it yet?
As far as nailed, that would be a great question. I'm big on Miami. I think everything is supporting that Miami. I've already bet them to make the ACC title game. I don't necessarily love them enough to back them to win it, but I think to get there, it's a pretty good odds. Or there's pretty good odds. And then I'm going with Colorado. I mean, over 5.5 wins, then I got them at 9. I know that's a stretch, but if they win the Big 12, they're in the playoff. For them to make the Big 12 title game was plus 800, and I have locked that one in too.
Okay, Colorado. All right, I was thinking like a South Carolina. I thought he got it. I thought he nailed it.
Well, I feel like he nailed Florida right off the bat here. I'm high on Florida this year, and I think having them at 13 that you had Florida. I like that spot for them.
Could Florida end up – here's a hypothetical question, and one of the last for me, and then I'll let Michael ask. But hypothetically, if Florida's 13, is it possible for Tennessee to finish top 10? Because I would think for Florida to be that high, that means obviously we probably lose to Florida. I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts?
I think it depends on the other losses for Tennessee.
Sure.
If Tennessee is, obviously this is a stretch, but if they're 10-2 and their losses are to Georgia and Florida or Alabama and Florida, yeah, I think it's possible Tennessee finishes in the top 10 and Florida finishes at 13. So yeah, I think it's possible.
Right on.
It's highly possible because going back to Florida's schedule, I didn't write down the total number, but I think they play 5 or 6 teams ahead of them on the rankings, and they're number 13. So in my simulation, Florida fans wouldn't like this, but I got them 7-5.
I had them 8-4. So I mean, yeah, that's fair. And I kind of hope they're 7-5 because, in my opinion, that would mean that we beat them.
Well, I'm sitting here at 9-3, so.
Yep. So no, Brendan. Well, Michael, you got anything for Brendan about the model?
Man, it's interesting to me how the model does put some teams on there. So when you did the model there, did you go past the top 25 or did you just kind of stop there as far as the teams? Because I'm curious for our little brothers in Nashville who think they're going to win the national title this year, what they were ranked at on this model. So.
Well, here's a good little soundbite for you. I did do 1 through 68, which would be all the Power 4 teams plus Notre Dame. Right now, Vanderbilt's at 42, but I would think that Boise State and a few other teams would probably be in front of them. Well, I don't know about right now.
I agree with that.
Their butt whooped by USF last night.
Oh, really?
They're
I've not
playing.
been
They're
keeping up
playing
with
right
that
now.
game.
There's football on tonight, boys. While we're doing a podcast, no, I'm joking.
See, I've got football on my screen over here, but it's not that game. It's an SEC game being played that we'll be picking here in a minute. And spoiler alert, I know who I'm picking.
Hey,
I thought about putting football right here, but as you know, out in the middle of BFE on a boat, I don't want to overload the Starlink internet, dude. I was told it's pretty good, but I mean, I'm trying to do my best to stay off of it as best I can. So this is what we got, and I'm sorry if it is laggy, but Brandon, man, I appreciate you coming on. I am interested. How can the folks follow this model throughout the season? Like, where can folks find you and stay tuned and, obviously responsibly, but maybe make even some bets with this model that we got.
Yeah, let's put a disclaimer. That's totally for fun.
Yep, exactly.
Right now, my personal Facebook page, I actually was having a conversation with my wife about how we're going to promote it a little bit better. But yeah, so one last little plug. Find me on Facebook. I'm very active on there. But one last little plug. I got Iowa State, the spread right with them in Kansas State. And right now, South Florida's up 31-7 on Boise, and I had +6 tonight on South Florida, so I'm feeling good so far.
Ooh, man.
Hey, Alex Golish has got it going on down there now. Hold up.
Two games I'll give you. The model really likes Auburn against Baylor. Auburn's
I like Auburn.
Vegas. I've got them 11.5, and then if the fans want something for the next 30 minutes, I got Nebraska -6.5.
Who's Nebraska playing tonight?
Cincinnati, neutral site.
Might have to open up my Action 247 Sportsbook app and place a little bet there. So
I'm in Alabama. I can't do it. I'm pissed. I had to Venmo you, bro. I opened the app up like 3 times a day, and it says I'm not in the area. I'm like, God dang it. So
that's how I feel. That's how I feel on Fridays and Saturdays. I work out of Birmingham right now on Fridays and Saturdays, so I'm like, Thursday night, let's go ahead and put that in. So,
and if anybody has been paying attention, obviously I'm
right
doing the Colorado experiment. So Colorado money line against Georgia Tech.
Right on. Well, Brandon,
Georgia.
As far as
do they still have Haynes King?
They do.
Mm-hmm.
He's back for like his 11th year,
Ooh.
but it's supposed to be his last year. So, yeah, he's back again. But Brandon, we'll definitely help out as far as marketing, because I'm sure Skylar and I could be talked in maybe once a month, kind of seeing how these projections change going on. So we'll definitely help out with that and promoting there as well. So that won't be a problem.
I appreciate that. This was fun. I'm glad to be on tonight.
Yeah, absolutely,
Brandon,
man.
we appreciate you joining us, man.
Yeah.
Been a blast.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
So that
was my guy, Brendan.
Yeah. So, Skylar, before we move on to segment 2, do have a couple of comments to get to. First off, Tennessee Football 247, bro's on the boat. He sure is, man. Looks like he's having a pretty dang good time down there. And John Legg tunes in. He says 9-3 ? I feel like y'all will be 7-5 at the end of the year. Texas will be outside of the top 4, and Texas drops to Ohio State and Georgia in the regular season. So, John, respectfully,
Just an FYI. Hold up. Just an FYI. This guy could be trolling. He's a Georgia fan. Just FYI. I know him personally.
Could be, but respectfully, I don't know about 7-5. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that they're going to go 10-2, 11-1. I might be.
I do think,
but
I think it's impossible for a defense to be this good and go 7-5.
I agree with that. And with the weapons that Tennessee has on offense, obviously a question mark at quarterback, I think that you could do just enough like you did last year. I mean, Nico wasn't good at quarterback last year.
It was the lowest production numbers. It was the lowest production numbers out of a Heupel-led offense by quarterback.
Yeah.
And we still went 10-2.
Yeah. So, John, I'll go ahead and say this. We're about to do our Tennessee schedule prediction. So, as we're going through this, kind of let us know where you think the losses are going to be, because that's what we're about to do, is pick where we think it's going to be. But before we do that, Skylar, would you like to give us our segment 2 sponsor?
Oh, shoot, you caught me off guard, but I don't mind. I can do it real quick. It's P&L Business Services. We know firsthand that getting your monthly reporting, invoicing, bill pay, taxes, and other essential business services right is critical. That's why at P&L Business Services, we go beyond bookkeeping by providing in your back office so you can have your time back and the peace of mind to do what you love most, which is building your business. Behind every successful business is a great bookkeeper, guys. Again, these folks are here for you when maybe you're falling short on customer service because you're so stressed out about taxes or bookkeeping or anything like that. Like, at the end of the day, you need to keep your client first and let P&L handle stuff behind the scenes, and hopefully get to keep a little bit more money in your pocket come tax season. P&L Business Service, we appreciate you. If you feel like that this may be something you need, just go online to pnlbusinessservices.com. All right.
Absolutely, man. So,
All
Tennessee.
Right. All right.
We've been waiting on this for a while. Make our Tennessee predictions. So what stands out to you about this schedule just right off the bat?
I think what stands out to me about this schedule is it's a good draw. Like, I
agree.
Like, at the end of the day, you still play Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. I mean, that's what you want, the big three. But of Texas and Oklahoma, you kind of want to play Oklahoma, in my opinion. You get Mississippi State and Arkansas, Kentucky, Vanderbilt. I think overall this is a great draw. Tennessee's got to capitalize on it. They still got the tough games, don't get me wrong, but this is the year to capitalize. I think the month of October should be manageable. I mean, you do have to go on the road to Alabama, but usually October is such a critical month, and this year I do think it's manageable. I think this year it's November. I think it's how you finish the year. With Oklahoma at home, and then you go to Florida, and then I think those are the two probably most critical games as far as like how you finish the year. But that's what stands out to me is overall Tennessee's got a manageable schedule, and they really need to capitalize this year.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. So do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first as far as predictions go for this year?
I'll go first. And I was fighting with it because I was like, man, I think I want to do Tennessee's schedule. Maybe, dare I say, homerish, but kind of like forgetting everything that I've picked up to this point. Because if people have been following our series, other than the last week, I do need to get those picks in. But like, other than last week, people can kind of follow along with like who we have where, and they could kind of already know what our schedule is for this. But I am going to stay true to it, and I am going to say that Tennessee beats Syracuse pretty easily. Now, can you do the win-loss thing for me? I cannot do that. I'm not on my desktop.
Yes.
All right, right on.
So you said a win against Syracuse.
Yes, and I think it is an easy win. I don't know what our Action 247 line spread is on that, but I'm seeing a lot of numbers are right around the 2-touchdown range, and I agree with it. I do.
Yeah. I'll have the spreads pulled up whenever we do our picks. So
perfect, awesome. Well, ETSU is obviously a dub. We'll have this machine right here that I'm on. We'll have it there for that game. But our big party is the Georgia game. This is a really important game. I got us beating Georgia.
Ooh.
I got us beating Georgia and Neyland. Now, no, I don't have us going undefeated, so calm down to everybody that thinks this is a homer pick. I think this is year to get it done. Josh Heupel hasn't been Georgia at all. We haven't beaten Georgia at all since Kirby's first year there. But I think with our turnover, their turnover, I don't know. I think Neyland's hard to play in. And I mean, the last couple of games have been scrappy, and they've pulled out some 2-touchdown wins. I don't know. I just feel a little bit different about this year, and I think it's a good thing that we get them early in the year. I do think that works in our advantage, actually. UAB is a dub. At Mississippi State is an easy dub. Arkansas, I think, is a dub. I've got Tennessee going to Alabama
6-0.
I've got us going to Alabama undefeated. And boy, would I love to beat Alabama on the road, but I just don't see it happening. I think that's where we drop our first game of the year. Kind of like a new season, same story as far as here lately being able to have a great record going into Alabama, and then they kind of crushing our dreams. And I think that is how it works, because at Kentucky, we get a bounce back win there. That's an easy win. Kentucky's god awful. Oklahoma at home. Stupid important game. I think it gets overlooked by a lot of people. But I think Oklahoma, much like us, just has such a good defense. It's going to be hard for them to be a bad team this year. And I think they bite us. I think they get revenge on last year. I think we drop to Oklahoma. I think we beat New Mexico State. I think we lose to Florida, and I think we end the year on a win against Vanderbilt. And we finish the season 9-3. And as I mentioned, my biggest fear is how we finish the year, not how we start it. And I don't have us finishing the year well. So I've got Tennessee finishing 9-3, and that loss to Florida being just like a typical Tennessee fan, that being the crushing blow that keeps us out of the playoff. And it would suck. It would be really hard pill to chew. But then again, we all think that this team's going to be 9-3. I can't be mad at the record, but I can't be mad at how it happens. But this is how I have Tennessee season going.
All right, what about your ceiling and floor?
I think the ceiling is 10-2. I don't see a world where we go much better. I think maybe we either beat Florida or beat Oklahoma. I still think either way you're dropping Alabama. You could be dropping Georgia. So I don't know. I think 10-2 is the absolute ceiling. And then I do think the floor now, there is a possibility where we lose to Georgia. And I mean, I think it's 8-4. I'm pretty tight on this team. I think I got Tennessee nailed down. I think it's an 8-4 worst, 10-2 best, but I'm pretty sure 9-3 is likely. I don't know, Michael. What do you think about that? I know that's pretty tight window, but worst case scenario understands worst case. But when you look at the teams on Tennessee's schedule, they absolutely should not be losing to Arkansas at home, Mississippi State on the road. Absolutely, you never lose to Kentucky. I don't care how worst case it is. I don't know. I just think that is worst case scenario.
Yeah, I think you could be right on that. I mean, you mentioned it. This is a very favorable schedule, a schedule that Tennessee really needs to take advantage of this year. So before we get into this, so John says, I pull for the Vols when the Dogs don't play, but I got to be realistic. Best case 8-4 this year. I mean, that's fair.
Best case 8-4.
He also goes to say Syracuse is an L. Now, I disagree.
That's not
with
realistic. That ain't realistic, big dog. I don't know. I can't agree with that.
Yeah, the Kentucky one I also don't think is realistic there. I would pull more for – I feel like Skylar's Oklahoma loss there would probably be that fourth loss if we're counting Georgia, Alabama, and Florida as losses, which absolutely could happen. So he's also asking if you want to bet on the Tennessee game there. Have a bet.
We'll do that. We'll handle that off the record, but the game time is 3:30. It's already set. But yeah.
Yeah. And Big Blue Breakdown joins in. How we doing, guys? Hey, appreciate you tuning in. We're doing fantastic. It is game week. I know you're excited about game week for your Wildcats as well. Appreciate you tuning in tonight. So my predictions here. I got to take that comment off. So I also think going into Atlanta that they're going to go down there and get a win against Syracuse. And honestly, I don't think it's going to be all that close. I think that Tennessee's defense is going to keep Syracuse in check. And even if Syracuse defense is able to hold Tennessee in check a little bit, I just feel like that Tennessee's got too many weapons that are going to be able to cut loose at some point in that game, that they're going to score, 21, 28 points, maybe even in the 30s, but hold Syracuse to at least in the teens, maybe even less than that. I'm not going to predict a shutout, but I think that it's a pretty easy win for Tennessee, and that's just a spoiler going into our picks here pretty soon. ETSU in week 2, that's going to be an easy win. Georgia in week 3. I do feel like when you look at it on the schedule, this should be the obvious spot where Tennessee can get a win because it is at home where the other 2 of the big 3 games are on the road. But here's my X factor here. Georgia still has Kirby Smart. And I know that they hadn't won the title in a couple of years, but I still think Kirby Smart is the best coach in college football right now since Nick Saban has retired. And that plays a huge factor to me. Josh Heupel is yet to beat him. So I've got a loss to Georgia at home in week 3. UAB in week 4, that's going to be a win. And side note, I wish this game was in Birmingham because where I'm working in Birmingham is literally 5 minutes from Birmingham Stadium. or UAB Stadium. So I really wish that game was in Birmingham. So Mississippi State, September the 27th, that's going to be a win. Arkansas, that's going to be a big win. After last year, Tennessee's not going to have a letdown spot, especially coming off a bye week again, like they did against Arkansas last year. It's not going to happen where they lose to Arkansas, especially not the way that it happened last year.
Just don't need Joey Aguilar running out of bounds as time expired.
Yeah, and Joey Aguilar does not need to go out to watch Oregon play. Oregon at UCLA the week before during the bye week, like apparently Nico did. That's a totally different story. We don't have time for. Alabama, third Saturday in October. This is a perfect spot, in my opinion, for Tennessee to go to Tuscaloosa and get a win.
I think there's a lot of pressure on this game.
I think it's a ton of pressure for both teams coming into this game. What quarterback's going to perform better at this or so far in the season? Is it going to be Ty Simpson or is it going to be Joey Aguilar? How are they going to be gelling with their offenses at this point? What do the defenses look like? I think I know what Tennessee's defense is going to look like. Alabama's still going to have a good defense, but how good is that defense going to be? So because of all that right there, I've got Tennessee going to Tuscaloosa and pulling out a win against Alabama. It's going to be a huge win for Tennessee moving forward in this season. I've got the win third Saturday in October. Call me a homer if you want. I might have the orange glasses on, but you know what? Tennessee's going to Tuscaloosa and getting a win there. Kentucky, week after Alabama. You could say if they get a win against Alabama, is this a hangover game? I don't think it is because Tennessee owns Kentucky. Big Blue Breakdown, if you are in the chat, I'm sorry, but Tennessee owns Kentucky.
They got us when we had Jared Garantano. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah, that's Garantano though. He also threw
VFL.
He threw 15 touchdowns to Kentucky. So that didn't help matters. But no, Jared Garantano, Jared Garantano is a true VFL, especially considering what all has come out since that time. So
all right, so I'm liking this. We're 7-1 going into November. I think either prediction, it comes down to November. I'm telling you, November for Tennessee is so important. But I'll let you proceed.
So this Oklahoma game, it's huge. And I think that if Oklahoma is doing what a lot of people say they're going to do this year, then I think this could be a tough game that, especially after the stretch that Tennessee just had, the high that they're riding on, I think Oklahoma could come to Knoxville and they could get a win. But here's the thing. I'm not high on Oklahoma this year. I've got them going 6-6 this year.
Yep.
So give me Tennessee to beat Oklahoma Stadium. New Mexico State.
Hang on. Also on that point, Oklahoma's in the middle of their own little stretch right there too that we're not really being able to see their schedule right here. But if you look at Oklahoma's schedule, they play Texas, Georgia, they play all the big.
So I've got the schedule right here. They're coming off of Texas in Dallas, South Carolina on the road.
Not an easy game.
Ole Miss at home.
Not an easy game.
And then traveling to Knoxville to play against Tennessee.
And then who do they play after Tennessee? There was a game or something right after Tennessee that I thought
they have a bye week before they play Alabama.
So Oklahoma's got their own little tough schedule. That's a tough schedule. So I don't mind this pick because Oklahoma could be hurt. Last year they had a crap ton of injuries. So who knows how this game's going to play out, but I don't mind that pick at all.
Yeah. So New Mexico State coming off a bye week. That's going to be a win for Tennessee. Florida.
I like it.
The swamp.
I like this.
Here's what I will
Even if you drop it, that's fine. I like it.
Here's what I will say about Florida. I'm high on Florida this year. And I think this game sets up perfectly for Tennessee to win. You're coming off of a bye week before playing against New Mexico State, getting guys healthy. You shouldn't have to play your starters the entire game. But you haven't won in the swamp in 22 years. There's something about the swamp that every time Tennessee plays there, bad things happen. You look at 2 years ago with Joe Milton. That team was a double-digit favorite on the road I'm pretty sure it was double digit. It was at least 8 points. I know that much. On the road in Florida, absolutely should have gone down there and gotten a win. And you just absolutely crapped the bed. You gave up like 23 points, something like that, in the second quarter. It was ugly. Because of that, until you actually go to the Swamp and win, I cannot pick this as a win. So Florida takes a win.
I ain't mad because it doesn't kick us out of the playoff, but it could kick us out of Atlanta. So it still stings.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's all right.
But here's another reason why I think it plays out for that Tennessee could end up going to Florida and get a win. Yeah, you would still get a home game. But here's another reason why I think it plays into Tennessee's favor, because their schedule is favorable, and Florida, the weeks leading up to this. So on November the 1st, that's when they play Georgia and Jacksonville. They traveled to Lexington to play against Kentucky, then traveled to Oxford to play against Ole Miss. So you're basically looking at 3 straight road games before coming back home to play against Tennessee. I know that Georgia game is actually neutral site, but you're still having to travel to Jacksonville. That's not the easiest stretch either before playing Tennessee. So that's why I think it plays into Tennessee's favor, but I can't pick Tennessee to win that game right now. And then obviously, last game of the season, Tennessee is going to absolutely dog walk Vanderbilt and Diego Pavia. I don't even know if Diego Pavia will be playing in this game, because if he has to do what he did last year and try to be Superman, then he might be hurt at this point in the year and not even be able to play. So
I agree. Best case, worst case.
Yeah, I do have Tennessee going 10-2 this year. Call me a homer if you want,
but
I think Tennessee can do it this year. Best case, I do have them 11-1, absolutely best case. I do not have any single team this year in the SEC going undefeated as a best case, anything like that. I think there's a loss somewhere on this schedule. So 11-1 is absolute best case. Worst case scenario, I do have a loss to Alabama, making them 9-3. I've got a loss to Oklahoma, making them 8-4. And I will say like I said, this is absolutely the worst case scenario. One of Mississippi State, Arkansas. I'll throw Kentucky in there because it's on the road.
And it's worst case, and we've lost a game on the road at night that we shouldn't lose. So
yes. Yeah. All right. So you bring that up. If there's a game on the road at night that they're going to lose that they shouldn't, what game is that? Because really, I think it's only 2 games.
There's not one this year. In my opinion, there's not one. I mean, Florida, you can't count that one because we've lost that one every time. But I think here's how I'm substituting it. I don't think there's a game on the road we lose this year at night that you're supposed to win. Let me put it that way. I think I substitute that with losing to Oklahoma at home, which would sting. But that would be like you checked off one thing off the bucket list, but then we slip up somewhere else, and that's kind of how I played my schedule. Because Josh Heupel has proven to not necessarily win all the games on the schedule that he's supposed to win, and that's where I have Oklahoma kicking. But in my opinion, this is why I think this is such a favorable schedule, is there's not, in my opinion, a game on the road at night. Now, you can say Mississippi State, but, dude, they're projected to be second worst in the SEC this year, if not the worst in the SEC this year. And then Kentucky, we never lose to Kentucky at night, or we never lose to Kentucky, period, unless we beat ourselves, and that's not going to happen. And Kentucky has like 0 – I don't know. I've not seen one hype video about Kentucky this year. They're just ready for football or basketball season. So I don't know. To me, there's just not one. I don't know. What 2 games are you looking at? It's got to be Mississippi State and Kentucky, right? I don't know.
It's Mississippi State and Kentucky, and I'm going to say that it's Mississippi State because, I mean, you said it. Tennessee, they don't lose to Kentucky unless they beat themselves. And I agree. I don't think that there is any chance that they get beat by Mississippi State. But we said the same thing about Arkansas last year.
We sure did.
And here's what I'll say about Mississippi State. If that offense gets going for Mississippi State, because they run the same style of offense as Josh Heupel does, you know, him and Jeff Lebby, they were on the same staff together. They run the same style of offense there. And if Mississippi State's defense improves any to the point where, you know, they can start stopping folks at all, and maybe Tennessee has another bad day on offense and they have to try to rely on their defense, I think the defense can still win the game for them. But let's just say they have a bad game. I think that Mississippi State could absolutely slip up and beat you. Do I see that happening? No. Am I going to predict that to happen? No. But if there is a spot on this schedule where they lose a game on the road at night and they're not supposed to, it's Mississippi State.
Fair enough. I'm going to just say I don't think there is one, but they may lose to Oklahoma at home. That's my final answer. I'm locking it in.
Yeah, that's fair. So
either way, we're looking at, I mean, let me say this one more time, but right before we get into some comments or whatnot. But given all the turmoil, circumstances, and whatnot, is 9-3, 10. I mean, is that a successful year? Are we disappointed? Or I mean,
9-3, I'm satisfied with that. I mean, in my opinion, that's winning all the games that you're supposed to, and then losing the 50-50 games, which is Georgia, Alabama, and Florida. And honestly, with each of those games, I would even lean it probably 60-40 to the opposition, just based on the opponent and where the game is played. So,
and as a fan, we can take in the history, right? I mean, like, I know the players don't, but as a fan, like, you just know. Like, I mean, I don't know. But I understand that. I get that 100%. You would like to win one of those, just for the percentage's sake. You'd like to win one of them. I mean, even if it was 60-40, chances are then you should win one of the three. But I understand.
Yeah. So I'm completely satisfied with 9-3. In my opinion, 8-4 is where you start looking at a disappointing season this year. Because that means that, I mean, you could say that Oklahoma is a game that, you can drop that maybe is a little bit closer to 50-50, but let's just say
it depends on how Oklahoma looks when you get there. I mean,
agreed. Completely agree there. So I think 8-4 is a little bit of a disappointment because that means you lost to somebody that you shouldn't have lost to this year.
Just don't let it be Vanderbilt, please.
Oh, it won't be Vanderbilt. Trust me. So looking at some of these comments, Dalton says 9-3 with a game that we shouldn't win and a loss against a team we probably shouldn't lose against. Maybe it's the battered Vol syndrome. That's completely fair.
That is 100% the most. That is the realistic expectation I've seen out of anybody, and that's just how you know he's a true Vol fan, because this is exactly how Heupel coaches.
So I'm just going to input this for Dalton right here. Basically, he's saying we beat Georgia, but we lose Mississippi State this year. That's exactly what
probably.
Yep.
that
battered Vol syndrome there.
It's New Mexico State because Pavia's like cousin or second, third string. I don't know, like something crazy at New Mexico State, and then Pavia bloodline.
That's right. So Vols Time says, I'm looking forward to the Arkansas 2 after last year. Yeah, absolutely. That's a game I'm pretty sure Heupel has got circled on that schedule. So Sean says,
we haven't beaten them. So
yeah, Sean says my two biggest worry games are the Bama and Florida games, just based off of our recent history, but definitely not impossible. Only hopeful. Thought I have on Georgia. It's in Neyland, but either way, GBO. Yeah.
That is what we got to hang on, or the fact that Georgia is in Neyland, that is exactly what we got to hope for. Neyland loud and show up and show out. So
yeah. So John asked, why am I so high on Florida? So Florida is returning.
As to why he's so low in Tennessee.
Yeah, exactly. No, Florida is returning their entire starting offensive line this year. I mean, there's a lot of hype on DJ Lagway, but we've also seen him play very well. He's got some talent at running back and receiver, granted unproven talent. And the defense is they've always been solid under Billy Napier. Have they been great? Absolutely not. But they've been solid. And I just think that even though it's a very tough schedule this year, I think that there's going to be several 50-50 games for Florida this year that they're going to pull out. But also, I think that the schedule for Florida is going to go one of two ways this year, because I think it's a make it or break it year for Billy Napier. It's either going to go fantastic and he's going to go, 9-3, 10-2 might be a stretch. But, 8-4, 9-3, somewhere around there, be on the outside looking in for the playoffs, or they're going to have a losing record this year. Not even make a bowl game, in which case he'll be fired. So I think
missing, but didn't Florida push Georgia last year up until DJ got hurt in a game or something?
They did for a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Until he got hurt. So,
Florida's not a bad team. I mean, it's just.
I feel like they've had some bad luck go against them so far.
They've had bad luck, and I seriously think Billy Napier's made some crazy decisions and mistakes. But as far as talent on the roster, they're not a bad team. Never have been, honestly.
Yeah, completely agree.
I don't know. We'll see. DJ Lagway has been prone to injury. I think that's something to keep an eye on this year. So
Yeah, absolutely. So Vols Time says if Josh Heupel wins the Georgia game, I can see a pay raise in his future.
he already got that extension. Come on now.
Here's what I'll
He
say.
will get a bonus for beating a rival. I think that's how that works.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say about if Josh Heupel wins the Georgia game, maybe a pay raise coming. Yes, if you also have the rest of your goals hit and you make the playoffs. But if you beat Georgia and you lose to, say, Mississippi State or Kentucky or Oklahoma,
And the most
somebody like
Tennessee
that,
thing ever.
yeah, I mean, I won't say that there's a pay raise coming at that point because you got to have all the results happen. But if you make the playoffs for the second straight year, then yeah, I think that at that point it becomes a raise and not just an extension. And then our
I
man
hate to
Jake
spoil the
Arnold,
news, but he's already gotten a pay raise thanks to the Adidas deal. But it's all
Yeah.
good.
Fair enough. And our man Jake Arnold, he has reposted the stream on X, so appreciate you, Jake. So
He's just waiting to come on.
That's exactly right. And we still got to do some picks before he comes on. So
That's right. Come on.
let's get right into that. Our segment 3 sponsor, it is Kaizen Painting. Do you want a colorful life? Kaizen is a painting and drywall company that provides residential, commercial, exterior, and interior services. At Kaizen Painting, we understand the importance of a beautifully painted home and properly installed and repaired drywall. We're here to bring your vision to life. We care about providing you with a personalized, efficient, and quality service. If you live in Knoxville and surroundings, contact us for a free estimate at kaizenpainting.com. Color your life the Kaizen way. So let's get right into these predictions. Let me get our first one pulled up. It is a game that is actually currently going on, and I don't know.
I haven't seen the score, so my prediction will be true. Whatever it is.
What happened there? Replace image, Central Arkansas, and there we go. So Central Arkansas going up against Missouri. This game is currently going on right now. I mean, I've got the game on, but I was already going to pick Missouri to win this game. Spoiler, Missouri is winning this game.
Don't tell me about how much, because I picked them to win and cover 36.5.
So you don't want me to spoil it for you?
I mean, I said it now before I even knew the score, but I have them, beating them by 40 points. So, yeah, what's the score?
It's 25-0, and it's 2 seconds left in the second quarter. So,
dude, let's go. That would have been
look.
I should have bet on this, but I'm in Alabama, dude. They don't allow freaking sports betting. All right, whatever.
Yeah, looking pretty good. So both of us take Missouri in that game. Second game, Auburn going up against Baylor. I don't know why the time is not down there because I actually put it there, but it's tomorrow night. That game is at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central on Fox. Auburn is a 2.5-point favorite according to Action 247 Sportsbook, and I actually need to pull up their logo on this screen.
Come on now.
We'll mention it more once we get to the Ranking with Jake segment, but Action 247 is our exclusive sportsbook for this podcast. So all of the lines that you see here are based off of Action 247. So as of about noontime today on Thursday is when these lines were put in. So Auburn, 2.5-point favorite. The total in this game is 58.5. What say you on Auburn versus Baylor?
Auburn wins and covers 100%. They have to. If not, it gets ugly quick in Auburn.
They win and cover. I also need to write down these games. That way we can keep up with
Please do, because your boy's not. Let me be honest.
Yeah, so both of us picked old MIZ on that one. You going to finish that one?
Nope.
Okay. So
that's an inside joke for anybody watching. That's an inside joke. It's with our buddy Skeeter over at Woodswater, Mizzou, or Woodswater. That is it, right?
Yeah, Woodswater, Mizzou. So you picked Auburn to win this game. I've got so many questions around Auburn right now with the offseason that they've had. How focused is Hugh Freeze?
Just rely on the wide receivers, man. Come on.
And that's the thing. They've got some of the best wide receivers in the conference right now.
Yes,
How's Jackson Arnold? How's Jackson Arnold going to look this year? I'm not 100%.
Is he even the starter?
Exactly. That's the thing. There's so many questions right now around this program. because of that, I'm going with Baylor in this game to beat Auburn.
Oh, let's go. Okay, I like it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, game is also at Baylor as well. So, going with Baylor in this contest. Next game, we are moving to Saturday now. This is the big one. This is Texas. This is Ohio State, number 1 versus number 3. This is going to be at 12 Eastern on Fox. Texas, a 1.5-point dog in this game. I'm going Ohio State in this game. Not because I don't think Texas is going to be good this year, because I think they will be, but the game is in the shoe. I think that Julian Sayin is going to have a fantastic year this year. You've got the best wide receiver in college football in Jeremiah Smith, but, teams are going to be focusing on that this year, which is why I think on the other side, you're going to have Carnell Tate for Ohio State have a breakout season, because nobody is going to be looking for him. They're all going to be looking at Jeremiah Smith. Give me Ohio State in this contest.
I think I'm going to go against my preseason prediction here. I think the fact that this is at noon helps Texas.
I don't disagree with that.
So, I mean, you hear all the Ohio State fans complain every year about how, they have too many noon kickoffs, but, it's literally their TV deal to have big noon kickoff. That is their primetime game. I think it helps Texas. I think they might actually go into the shoe and get it done. Now, I hate picking this only because I already heard Steve Sark. He already talked about basically if they don't win the game, they got a lot to learn from it. And I'm like, okay, that kind of sounds like a losing mentality, if I'm being honest. But, I understand what he's saying at the end of the day. But overall, I think this being a noon game, Ohio State's got its fair share of newbies as well. I mean, obviously, they still have the best player in the league, honestly, at wideout. But I don't know. Maybe just to be a little bit different than you as well, just to kind of make it spicy. I'm going to go with Texas to go and get an upset. They are an underdog in this game, only because they're the away team. But give me Texas to win and back up that preseason number 1 ranking.
All right, so Texas with the win in that game. All right, moving on to the next game. It is Mississippi State and Southern Miss. This game is at 12 o'clock on ESPN. Mississippi State on the road, a 13-point favorite. Does Southern Miss get it done?
I'm kind of thinking about it, but I'm going to kind of err on the side of SEC here. That's a thing. Give me Mississippi State, but I think they got their hands full with Southern Miss. I would not bet the over or the cover here. I would not. Absolutely not. I think this could be a tight game for Mississippi State.
Yeah, I'm completely aligned with you in this one right here. I think it's going to be a super tight game. I'm not touching the spread in this one at all.
Nope.
I do think that Mississippi State goes to Hattiesburg and gets a win, because this is not baseball. But I do think that that it's going to be close. That 13 points right there scares me. I would probably have this more. I say this is probably going to be a 10-point game, maybe even a little bit closer than that. It's going to be one that Mississippi State fans are going to be uncomfortable going into the fourth quarter of this game. That's for sure.
I agree.
All right, next game on the slate, it is your boys. It is Syracuse. It is Tennessee in Atlanta. 12 o'clock on ABC. Tennessee is a 14-point favorite in this game.
I think this is the most sure cover and over spread you could ever have. I think this is a best bet and a half. This is Tennessee by 3 touchdowns.
I think I agree with you. I think this Tennessee, honestly, it could be more than that. I think we could be looking at a game similar to the NC State game last year. As far as the
I think
over,
Deshaun Bishop has 2 touchdowns.
I think you're right. As far as the over goes in this one, I think that it's a little bit too close for me to touch on that one, because I think that Tennessee could put up right around 41 points, and I think that they only give up 10 to Syracuse.
Shut them out. That's fair. That's fair.
I was
That's a good point.
I'm thinking 10 for Syracuse. So that 51, that's a little bit too close for me to try to pick that one. But I do think that Tennessee covers the spread. I'll go over to the comments real quick. So, John, talking about the Ohio State-Texas game, I hate Ohio State. I do think they have a great chance to repeat, though. And I think I agree with you. I think they've got a lot of talent coming back. I think that Julian Sain is going to be really good for Ohio State this year. I've already mentioned that, but Jeremiah Smith is going to take up a lot of he's going to take up a lot of the defense this year. Probably going to be double teamed a lot, which is why I think he's going to open up Carnell Tate as well as some of those other receivers this year. So I absolutely agree with you. I think that they've got a great chance to repeat. Let's see. Next game, it is Toledo against Kentucky.
I'm joking. Kentucky should win here. I'm just hating on Kentucky. I don't know. Can Toledo get it done? I mean, that's kind of a close spread now that I'm thinking about it.
Like, that 9.5 right there, that's close.
Give me Kentucky. I'm going to roll with it.
Yeah, Kentucky does get this one at home. Toledo's a very good MAC team.
Yeah. Boy, that would be a sour start to the year for our Wildcat brethren.
That would definitely be a sour start to the year for them.
Do you think they're like a little nervous? I mean, the line's not even double digits here, and it's a.
I think that they could be nervous. We'll see that line right there. I think Toledo could absolutely keep it within 10 points. So that line right there is probably one that I'm not going to touch. But I do think that Kentucky does get the win in this one in a game that's going to be very uncomfortable going into the fourth quarter. That's for absolutely sure on that one.
I mean, if I was a Kentucky fan, I'd be nervous about every game, but whatever.
Yeah. So I hope Big
They're
Blue
garbage, bro. I'm telling you, they're so
I hope
bad.
the Big Blue Breakdown is not still in chat. So, no,
I mean, it's all love. It's fine.
Yeah. Now, next game, Marshall going up against Georgia. This game is at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN. Georgia is a 38.5 point favorite in this game. Give me Georgia by as many as they choose. And not just because they're going up against Marshall, but I don't know if you know the story behind Marshall, but something happened at the end of the year last year, and their coach ended up leaving. Granted, Marshall was the Conference USA, I think. I think they're Conference USA. They were the Conference USA champions last year, and their coach left to go to Southern Miss, who is one of the bottom teams in the conference. So, I mean, what coach does that? And then on top of that, their entire team pretty much transferred out of Marshall, and the majority of them followed him to Southern Miss. So they're looking at a new head coach, a whole new team.
Wait a second. Here. So you mean Southern Miss is actually going to be good? Should I change one of my picks?
I mean, maybe.
I'm joking. No, I think Georgia gets the win here. I'm kind of interested to see if they'll cover that, just because I don't think Georgia has to cover it. Like, I think they just go in there, take care of business, pull the starters in the second half, whatever. But I think Georgia will get the win.
And how many times have we seen Georgia with a spread this big that we're like, oh yeah, that's a guaranteed cover? I mean, that's easy money right there. And Georgia comes out and wins by 24.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you've seen Georgia kind of play with their food sometimes, like during games like this, and they kind of like let the team hang around like the first quarter and it'd be 3-0 or something. Like, I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen, but it could. I mean, it could absolutely be one of them games where, I mean, yeah, it's a big spread, but maybe they just don't win by a lot. But it kind of seems like they did. Like, it could be 38-10 or something. I don't know. I think Georgia's going to get the win and get it easily. But I don't think you're going to learn much from this game. I guess that's the point I'm getting at.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. So next game, it's another big one. There's a couple of big ones on the slate this weekend.
This is not a big game, man. I'm so tired of people. Bama's going to beat the crap out of Florida State. It's not even going to be close. Squirrel White's going to realize how big of a mistake. Well, it may not even be a mistake because he's probably getting paid. But the rest of the other three that went to Florida State with him, Alabama's going to win comfortably. It's about as simple as that.
And when I look at this game, I think I agree with you because it absolutely should happen. But is this a game that maybe Ty Simpson has a off game coming into this one? Is this a game that in the fourth quarter we look around at Florida State's hanging in there by only down by 7, only down by maybe 10, and they make a game out of it in the fourth quarter? I think that we could see that happen. But I'm also going to go with you and say that Alabama wins this game. this is one that I don't know if I would touch the spread on it either. There's some spreads this week, opening weekend in college football that I'm just like, I don't feel comfortable in that one. This is one of those games, but I do think that Alabama wins the game ultimately. Florida State definitely won't be as bad as they were last year, but I still don't think they're going to be great. And I think that it's very possible you see Mike Norvell fired at the end of the season.
I agree, but I do think Alabama covers that spread. Give me Arkansas.
Yeah, so this game, I guess the spread was actually so much that Action 247 actually did not have a line available, which you'll see that with some of these FCS teams, that you won't have a line available.
Also, like the lack of demand on the game. Like nobody, unless you got a real addiction, nobody's betting on this game. Nobody cares about this game.
Which, by the way, we'll have the hotline number up on the screen here in just a little bit when we have Breaking with Jake for those of you that are degenerate gamblers. So that will be on the screen there. Jake's also laughing in the background right now about that, but because he is one of those degenerate gamblers. So, but no, a lot of these FCS versus FBS games, you won't have a line until Saturday morning, the day of the game, and this is one of them. But also, give me Arkansas in this game. Good old Cold Beer going to get him a win in this one. So
turn on that jukebox.
That's right. Oklahoma going up against Illinois State. This is going to be an ESPN Plus game. So you do have to have that ESPN Plus subscription to be able to watch this game.
Oklahoma.
I agree. Oklahoma in this one as well. I do think that they cover that spread, though. I think 36.5 is not enough.
I think they'll have to because Oklahoma's a team that's got to prove that they're good, too. So they're going to be going for the style points. Georgia, like earlier, like they don't have to prove that. They don't care. But Oklahoma does.
Yeah, completely agree with you. Next game, it is Long Island. It is Florida. This game also on ESPN Plus. So you do have to have that subscription. This game also does not have any lines available. Give me Florida, and it won't even be close.
Well, I mean, to be fair, okay, I'm going to use my wife as an example. If I'm just looking at logos here, that's a pretty sweet logo.
That is a sweet logo.
Sharks are cooler than Gators, so thus Long Island? No, I'm joking. Give me the Gators.
Yeah, Florida going to get the win in that one. Next game, UTSA going up against Texas A&M. And this one kind of surprised me when I saw the line. Only at 24.5.
They're high on A&M then because no, maybe not. I mean, UTSA they get piped up to be a good team, but then Tennessee ran. I don't know. I think A&M's going to take care of business. It's fine. They'll be all right. I don't know if they'll cover. I don't know if they'll. They should win by 3 touchdowns.
I think this is a game that you might see similar to Georgia, where Texas A&M gets a comfortable lead. They pull their starters, have their backups in the entire second half, and they might not cover.
They get a garbage time touchdown to not cover.
Yeah, I think that can absolutely happen in this game. But Texas A&M does win the ball game. So Vanderbilt against Charleston Southern. This is also on ESPN Plus. Vanderbilt, a 36.5 point favorite in this game. Give me Vanderbilt. I don't know if they cover.
Is it the Pirates versus Buccaneers? Either way, Buccaneers versus the Commodores. That's a pretty good mascot matchup right there, is what we call it. Yeah, give me Vanderbilt.
Do they cover?
It's crazy to see Vanderbilt with a spread that big. I didn't even think they're
see, most of the time it's the opposite way. Those other teams have that big of a spread against Vanderbilt.
I didn't realize Vanderbilt's capable of scoring 36 points in a season, much less a game to cover. That's crazy.
They scored 40 against Alabama last year.
I mean, it was Bama.
Saying it's Bama. Okay. We're getting deleted.
Back, baby.
Yeah, we're getting deleted after that one.
I mean, it's not even a Nick Saban led team. Come on.
So. Yeah. All right. So LSU going up against Clemson. This is at 7:30 Eastern on ABC. LSU a 3.5 point underdog on the road in what Clemson fans call the real Death Valley. This is a game that, we already talked to Brandon earlier. He's given his thoughts on Clemson this year with his model. I personally am high on Clemson this year, and I think that Cade Klubnik has an absolute shot of winning the Heisman.
Before you pick the team that you're picking, I will go on air to say I will absolutely take the opposite, whoever you pick.
Okay. So here's what I'll say about LSU. I'm not high on LSU this year, and I think Garrett Nussmeier is severely underrated. I actually want to give a stat to you that my father-in-law said earlier today. So, everybody is not too high on Joey Aguilar this year because of his interception problem. He threw 14 last year.
Mhm.
You know how many Garrett Nussmeier threw last year?
About 14.
He threw 12.
Oh,
But
I was so close.
But everybody is screaming Garrett Nussmeier praises this year, and they're talking down on Joey Aguilar. So make it make
Well, it's
sense.
because LSU spits out a Heisman Trophy quarterback every about 2-3 years, so they're just thinking that maybe this is.
I don't
fine.
think this is it.
I agree with that.
I've got Clemson, and I think that they cover big time. I think it's going to be a 10-point game, 2-touchdown game, something like that.
Good pick. That's a great pick because LSU's lost their opening game like 5 years in a row. But I already said that I'd take the opposite team, so maybe this is the year Brian Kelly gets it done. Give me LSU.
Right.
And I think Clemson can drop this game and still achieve every goal that they have in their season. So like,
I agree.
I do think Clemson can still be a good team because I am high on Clemson, but I think they can drop this game and still achieve it. LSU can't drop this. Technically, they can. But I think if LSU loses this game, I think if they lose this game, just mentally, I don't think they're tough enough to recover. And I know Brian Kelly's not. So give me LSU. Talk myself into it.
All right, so the last game on Saturday, this is at 7:45 on SEC Network. Georgia State traveling to Ole Miss. The Rebels are a 34.5-point favorite in this game. I am going to take the Rebels in this one. I think that spread might be a little bit too much. Georgia State is a decent team at the Group of 5 level. I mean, we've seen them in the past. In the past, beat a certain team that we both love in Knoxville.
I have no idea what you're talking. Wow, you even name dropped the location. That's crazy.
Yeah.
They beat somebody last year though. Like, can we forget about our experience?
They beat a Diego Pavia led team as well. I mean, it was at Vanderbilt.
That's crazy. Maybe we should talk about that more often.
Yeah.
Because Diego Pavia is still there. That's still current news. Like, I don't know. Like, it was whatever. It's fine. Ole Miss, give me them. By 40. I think they got a point to prove this year. So.
Ooh, okay. All right, so the last game that we have to pick this week, this is on a Sunday afternoon. It is Virginia Tech. It is South Carolina. This is at the Dukes Mayo Bowl. Give me South Carolina in this one and give me the spread as well. This game will not be close at all. Virginia Tech's not a very good football team right now. South Carolina wins this ball game.
Agreed. This number is so like – if this ain't on Jake's best bets, brother, what are we doing? Like, this has got to be a cover for South Carolina, 100%. Absolutely. All day long, South Carolina. Yeah, Virginia Tech's not good, dude. Like, what are they doing with the spread, dude?
Yeah, I agree with you there.
I'm about to Venmo you like $100 and just be like, dude, put $10, like $10 a game here because I'm in freaking Bama, dude. And, like, this state's already bad enough, and now I can't gamble, dude. This is crazy, dude. It's fine.
Yeah. So last thing that we have before Jake comes on, do you have an upset pick of the week?
I haven't looked at lines. I can't. I probably could get on the app, but again, every time I try to get on the app when it says I'm out in that area, give me who's a 10-point dog that maybe we've talked about that I think could absolutely be an upset.
So I know that you picked Mississippi State to win, but if you want to pick Southern Miss, that 13.5-point spread right there.
You dropped me into it. Give me Southern Miss over Mississippi State.
Southern Miss over Mississippi State. I think that absolutely could happen as well.
Look, and I'm going to be honest with you. I love that you do this whole point thing. I'm only going for 10-point dogs, bro. Like that to me is the upset. Like that's the only qualifier for me to be an upset pick of the week. And I get it. Everybody's technically an upset, but like I just so you know, throughout the entire season, I'm only going after 10-point dogs or more, according to Action 247. So
yeah. So this will be the one week that either one of us does this. Most of the time when we pick a game, whatever team that we pick, we also pick that same team for the spread. But obviously, because you're not able to look at the books down there, you picked Mississippi State to win, but you picked Southern Miss as your upset pick. I'm going to do the same
That's
thing
fair.
this week, and this will be the only
That's
one
fine.
that we do it for. I'm picking Toledo to beat Kentucky. Toledo to beat Kentucky as my upset pick of the
If
week.
that happens, I will give you a bonus point just because Kentucky lost.
All right. And
Handshake?
based on – yeah, absolutely. Well, find
Bet.
my camera here.
Bet.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, bet.
So I will say, based on what I put on the screen earlier, it's a 9.5. But looking at the line now, it is an even 10. So
I was fine with that. But you'll go ahead and get that 6 point if they do it. I'm telling you, bro. They deserve it.
All right. So
Kentucky's so garbage, bro.
Yeah, that takes care of the pick segment for this week. Let me go ahead and throw our Vol Fanatics graphic back up for the end of the show. Let's go right on over here. Got to change our speaker over to Mr. Jake. Let me find it real quick. Sorry, this is bad for podcast. Replace.
We're live,
Yes.
dude. Come on, man.
Jake Arnold. It's the man, the myth, the legend.
I'm here.
Dude.
I mean, it's here. I mean, we're 2 swift nights away for some real ball being played.
Dude, what is this?
This?
I see it.
Yeah, you know.
Dude, you're catching up. You're catching up to me, big dog.
When you do nothing but study ball in a hole, you get to where you need to be. So, guys.
Dude, in October, we'll braid each other's beards. So nice.
Guys, I just want to first off thank Action 247 for sponsoring this. This is absolutely insane to me. I'm going to have a lot more fun with it this year. Guys, week 1, I've determined that, this is raking with Jake. This is not me just trying to, give you what I think's a good bet and give you the popular opinion. However, I'm doing that week 1. But just know, for weeks moving forward, I'm actually going to start giving value. I heard the South Carolina, Virginia Tech spread, and I was like, there was a lot
It's
more.
got to be.
I think all of my picks, looking at them, except for one, is going to be SEC teams. So I'm playing in the realm that I enjoy. It's the stuff that I know.
I agreed.
So I'll start off with my one, I guess, non-SEC team or non-SEC matchup. And again, this one I'm very confident on. So it's going to be number 1 Notre Dame -2.5 at Miami. To me, again, the thing that I looked at was the identity of both teams. A lot of people are going to disagree with me because it's at Miami. Because
Carson Beck,
they have a more experienced quarterback. But then again, people just underestimate, I think, what's going on with Notre Dame. This is a full program. There's very few programs that can sustain this year in and year out. Miami's coming off a spot where they're losing a producer. I'm not saying any knock on Carson Beck. The guy's got a lot of experience, but I don't think he's throwing to as great as wide receivers as he could. The other thing too is if we look at the way that these games are going. I mean, I was watching the USF game previously. They had to fake a punt with a quarterback as the punter to get a touchdown. You're going to see right now that even dynamic offensive play callers aren't going to be able to score early in the first weeks. It's just not going to fire. There's so much to get ready for. So it goes back to, well, what can you do pretty effectively? Well, you can run the daggum ball, okay? At the end of the day, I'm going to take the team that runs with Notre Dame. They've got the second best rushing grade going into the season for their unit at running back. They've got a dual-headed snake. They've got a little bit of uncertainty with some returning production. But the cool thing about it is they complement what Miami's trying to do perfectly on the game plan. So Carson Beck's going to want to throw it.
Is Jordan Love still at Notre Dame?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be
It's
good.
not Jordan. Is it Jeremiah Love?
Or Jeremiah Love. Yeah.
Jeremiah Love.
I just know we got Love and Price, man. That's what we
No.
got. I'm loving the Price.
Is Jordan Love the Green Bay Packers? No.
Yes, Jordan Love. That's a Green Bay. That's a Green Bay.
Okay, I was like, where did I
Yes.
get Jordan Love from? But yeah, Jeremiah. Yeah.
Again, I mean, and the other thing too about Notre Dame is we know that they're going to have talent. They've got third in a coverage grade projecting out. So what that means basically is PFF's sitting here and saying these guys have a great secondary. They've got the one safety. I believe it's a safety. No, it's a corner. That corner's elite. I mean, I've watched him play a little bit, but just from people I trust, I know that guy's a top guy. I think that takes away Miami's number one, and I think that you're going to see the ability to get in the backfield by Notre Dame. Again, it's just top to bottom. They have a better team. It's the same problem a lot of these schools are going to have week one. It's showing you that the rush is going to be what's important. And another fun fact, Miami's secondary grade is 67th. It wasn't great. So it's middle of the pack again, and they played a lot of rushing teams offensively last year. So there's a lot of things line up. Makes sense. Easy. Notre Dame 2.5.
All right. So before we move on, Jake, I do want to bring up some comments here because your crew's in the chat right now. And boy,
Okay.
they're just they're getting on you. So Maverick, he says, how y'all gonna have Bo on? He doesn't know ball. Ask him about the veer and shoot. He thinks it's a 2 tight end personnel. What's your response to that?
Here's the deal, guys. We can talk scheme all day, and it's going to go over 95% of people's heads. We're calling it the veer and shoot because I think that's what the media has been calling it for the past 3 months. They're calling anybody who likes to spread the box out and give any type of RPO the veer and shoot. I don't see many teams lining up with a default wide spreads. That's a schematic deal. That ain't a style of offense deal. You can call it whatever you want. We want to run the dadgum rock. And if that takes 2 tight end personnel, we're going to freaking do it. And we got about 3 dudes, maybe 4 in there. Let's just run what is it? 4? You can't even run 14 personnel, can you? Yeah, you can. So you can run 4 tight ends, 1 running back, and call it a day.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't care. Let's just get the ball in the end zone. So
basically a certified wing tee. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, there's teams out there that'll take additional linemen. Kentucky, they lived off of it in the early years where they'd line up in what we call exotic formations. You'd have a receiver on the ball who's not even eligible, and they would give such a weird gap schematic that it would make your head spin. And if they caught you on the wrong day and you didn't have a good adjustment, they would terrify you for it. But they're not going to win ball games like that. Notre Dame's got a ton of guys. Again, it's just they're returning a lot. That is the key pieces you need to win a championship. They're a championship eligible program this season. Do I think they get it done? No. Going back to the next pick, this is kind of, to me, important to go through. Auburn let's see what this is.
what the? That's crazy because you had a winning record, didn't you?
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't help the masses. I want to be public
Robbie,
enemy number one.
Don't be spreading fake hate, brother. Like he had a winning record.
How many weeks
parlay
straight?
Everything we tell you not to parlay. That's what we do.
Don't parlay them.
Yeah, Action 247 wants you to parlay. We do not
No
want
kidding.
you to parlay. Yeah, so
No kidding.
Hey, but it's public enemy number one. If everybody's going to be fading me, by the way, that's the best man in my wedding. So, again, I'm here to win y'all money. I think I got 1 or 2 5-0s last season, and I'm here to put more investment in to get more. So
I mean, how many weeks straight did Jake start off 4-1 last year at the start of the season?
Dude, it was like 4 straight.
Yeah.
Week one's hard,
but it's not good
man.
enough, Jake. It's
Week
not
one's
good enough,
hard.
Jake.
Week one, this
It's
is
not
hard
good
stuff.
enough, Jake.
Then let's get to number 2. I mean, let's go to Auburn at Baylor. I mean, y'all, what is up with people having this at 2? I get it. Baylor's got a veteran offensive line. They've got a quarterback who threw for 3,000 yards, 28 touchdowns.
It's their head
3
coach.
Interceptions. Yeah, Aranda, he knows defense. He's not produced any defense since he's been there. If you look at them, they're 88th. They're 88th on points allowed. So,
but that's why they favor Baylor's, or not even favor, but like that's why they give them the benefit of the doubt. It's all because of his head coach. But I feel like since he's been there, I mean, why? Like I don't understand. They've not done anything flashy in my opinion.
8-4 last year and kept it respectable against LSU.
But in a weak conference, man. I mean, let's be honest.
Exactly. And if you look at their losses, it came to teams shutting down the run. That's a great segue into it. Really what you saw is BYU, I think it was TCU. These teams limited them to under like 50 yards rushing. I mean, it was brutal what they were doing. Now I was looking at individual rusher stats. So the one thing I did notice is they lose 2. This is another huge point. They're losing their 2 top producing wide receivers. So what's going on there is that 3,000 yards just got cut in, I think, a little over a half. Does that mean anything? Well, I'm going to be honest. I don't have a personnel report on Baylor, what kid they played against at high school, and I don't care. Auburn has too much talent. If you listened last week, Auburn's got 2 guys who are going to be – one's a lottery pick in the NFL at edge, Falk. and then they've got another kid who's younger. I think that there's no way they don't stop the run here, and I think that they're going to have no problem being able to get somebody open with the way that they have receivers all over the field and an actual good offensive line. Jackson Arnold, I don't know if y'all saw me doing it, I call it the waiting room, but when y'all are talking about Auburn and what they got to do to get it to those receivers, all Jackson Arnold needs to do is just go, just chuck it. Just chuck it. If I can get
Ask
seven,
him how that went against Tennessee last year.
hey,
But listen, what wide receiver did Oklahoma have last year that was healthy?
Hey, I don't need that. Okay,
look, it's very easy. I mean, the guy's got a great name. I want to root for him. Jackson Arnold could get it done. I think if anybody can get out of him, it's Preacher Hugh Freeze. So again,
he said the man was named after me.
So again, easy one. Now, number 3 is one that I'm going back and forth with, but it's probably my least confident one out of the 5. So just want to preface that. I've got Texas money line at Ohio State. Try to give you a little bit more because I think the spread was 2. And there's no reason. This game could go down to a missed extra point.
This game's actually dropped down to 1, so it's getting closer and closer to even money.
It's a pick 'em.
Give me Texas. Let's go.
The thing that I really am interested on is they've got a freshman. What's his name? Colin Simmons. He had 9 sacks as a freshman at Texas. That's stupid. And as a defensive edge, you'll see those guys don't ever regress unless there's an injury. So, he's going to get better and better.
9 sacks in a season, regardless, is stupid. Like, the fact that he did it as a freshman is just insane.
That is a child walking into the biggest stage of football right now. And he just comes out and hits almost double-digit sacks. One off. I don't look at his tackles a lot for loss, but I know what they've got. And another thing, too, is Texas has got a great coach in Sarkisian. He's making them play complementary football. It's a lot of what you're seeing these top-tier teams do. Arch Manning, I'm not too concerned on. We know what he is. Julian Sayin, I'm a lot more concerned on. You're losing a lot there with returning production. You're losing a backfield for Ohio State that just really was an engine for them to get guys open. And the other thing too, I'm a Raiders fan, guys. Chip Kelly's not at Ohio State anymore, so you probably have got a huge variation. And what is there going to be when you have this miscommunication on offense? So I think you're going to have a turnover or 2 in this game. I definitely, if I could bet anything, I'd probably bet 2 turnovers on Ohio State. And then again, they limited Jeremiah Smith to 1 catch and 3 yards in the playoffs. We forget. Now, granted, the only thing you can argue with me is we lost a couple guys. There's a couple guys gone. It doesn't matter. Texas has got what they need, and they're looking to make a playoff run. That's why they got the ranking they have. Ohio State, I think they're defending national champions. Where else can you put them? They're going to have to be top 5.
Yeah. And I'm gonna roll with you because I rake with Jake here. I make these picks along with him. But here's what I'll say. In the pick segment, I did pick Ohio State to win, and I'm gonna stick to these guns right here. That you're 100% right. They held Jeremiah Smith to 1 catch last year in the playoff game. But I still think Jeremiah Smith's the best receiver in college football. They're going to be keying on him, which is why I think all that Julian Sayin has to do is look on the other side of the field, and he's going to have Carnell Tate streaking down the field wide open. And I think Carnell Tate's going to have a big year and have a big game against Texas.
Yeah. I watched his recruiting process a little bit, and, it's just he's an interesting kid. He is going to be, in my opinion, a little bit immature for this game. That's the thing that I'm seeing.
Interesting.
I just don't think that he's going to get it done. There's a lot. Think about it. This kid is going into being a defending national champion, getting his first start.
Fair point. Yeah.
Going to the next pick. This one's my favorite.
Tennessee by like 30?
Well, I like Tennessee. But LSU
Not that
at
much.
Clemson -3.5. Oh my gosh, guys! Do we know what's going on with LSU? What kind of crazy tinted glasses do we have on to think that Nussmeier can win a Heisman?
Thank you, Jake.
I feel like LSU has kind of turned into the and I'm gonna compare them to A&M because no matter how bad they could do in a given season, they're going to be in the top 15 of the preseason AP poll every year.
And they're going to have some sort of SEC title or national title type projections.
Dude, with Jimbo Fisher and Kevin Sumlin, and I mean, you're seeing it already now, which, I mean, they had a good season last year, but like, they could literally go 7-5 and then somehow be preseason ranked 12th in the
talent
country.
Out there, man. There's just a lot of talent.
I mean, I get it. I get it.
That's all they ever say. That's all they ever say.
But Brian Kelly ain't that dude, bro. Like, I'm telling you.
I want to see him like act like just somersault or nosedive into the little folding table, because you saw him that one time where he banged the thing saying we're doing it again. What happens if he does it again?
Could you imagine? I would say this, like, could you really imagine Brian Kelly getting mad, like, when he hit the table in the press conference thinking he was really hard crap? But then it's like, could you also imagine seeing this dude dance on a spinning 360 camera with recruits? And it's like, sure enough, you see the camera. Like, I don't know. Like, this guy's he's crazy.
I wholeheartedly think, like, if I were to be coached under Brian Kelly, I would look at him if I ever got, just absolutely word smacked. And I'd be like, man, he needs to take some blood pressure medicine. He does not have the temperament that I could ever imagine as a.
How's he feeling right now, by the way?
How's who?
Brian Kelly losing yet another number 1 wide receiver.
Oh, y'all saw my text. Did you? Now
I didn't.
So here's what,
because he lost last year's to Oregon, and now he's lost this year's to Tennessee.
Man, who wants to play for the guy? I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Nobody.
He's a salesman.
Do you see Tristan Keys? By the way, he's featured on Adidas US football page on the bio. He says, "You never know."
Yeah, man. But videos. I also want to bring up something else with LSU. We talk about Garrett Nussmeier. We talk about all these other guys for them. I want to bring up one name, and that's Harold Perkins Jr., who has been each and every year. He's an absolute dog, but he's projected to be one of the best linebackers each and every year in the SEC. What does he do whenever he's there?
But he disappeared last year because they changed his position, and he couldn't get to whatever.
I was gonna say it's been the last 2 years. I mean.
Guys, that guy's a cat.
I get that, but he needs to get back into his comfortable. Yeah.
If he ever gets healthy, the dude's going to be a problem. I think he's going to be a problem at the next level, but he's not going to be. He's not going to be anywhere close to where he needs to be as long as he's wearing that LSU Tiger uniform.
Hey, listen, Clemson's got cats now, man. Just think about what Clemson has. They got 2 top 10 picks sitting on that D line. They probably got just like 8 deep at wide or at DB, 8 deep at receiver. They're just.
Am I wrong for being a Cade Klubnik hater? I feel like he only is getting the hype that he's getting because he's like a 4th-year starter.
He looks like the backpack kid off of TikTok. So I think he just has a hateable face. Is what you're thinking about. You know the guy who like. Well, yeah, I don't want to stand up and do it, but
well, to be fair, as a Tennessee fan, I kind of hated him because like his parents got more TV time than the football game got during our bowl game against him in the Orange Bowl. But like, I mean, other than that, I don't know. I just feel like Cade Klubnik isn't necessarily a talented guy. He just is a very experienced guy.
Yeah, see, that's doing all the right things at all the right times.
See, I'll kind of disagree with that. I think that he's very talented. I just think that, the time that we saw him in the Orange Bowl, he was a true freshman coming in, getting his very first start. You can
I
see
ain't
the
just
talent
comparing
there.
him to that. He's lost to South Carolina like 2 or 3 times. No, two times.
3 times. Yeah. Lost in the last 3 years.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
I agree with you. I absolutely do. I'm not just comparing him to that season, but I think that he's very talented, and he's continued to improve each and every year. So that's where I'm at with Cade Klubnik, and I think that he is going to have a Heisman-type year this year. I'm not going to pick him to win the Heisman Trophy right now, but I think he could absolutely be in New York at the end of the season.
Well, both these quarterbacks are primed for it, and one of these quarterbacks are going to bust in the very first game of the year.
Nussmeier.
Yeah. Hey, keep that 18 jersey, buddy. I don't get that. That's all face saving. All right, let's get to the
and
last.
I will say before you
Yeah.
get this last one, go ahead and hop on this line now because it's already jumped up to -4 in Clemson's favor. So all the money is already going towards Clemson.
I can't help the timing, guys. I mean, I try to give them to you early.
Yeah, like I said, all of these lines were put in at 12 o'clock on Thursday. So I mean, at the time,
Action
of this recording,
247
it's
said,
7
hold up.
o'clock.
Let me hold
Yeah.
up. Too many people betting on this. Hold up. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
All right.
Yeah,
Last pick, Jake.
Last pick. Got to finish the show off. We got Syracuse versus Tennessee -14. It's a funny game to me. It's a funny game to me because y'all don't understand what Kyle McCord was doing for Syracuse last year. Fran Brown, I'm a huge believer in him. I love his track record. I think that he'll eventually sustain success there. But you're looking at the little tiny tangerine versus the big plump orange. Well, who really has the brand? There's probably 2.5 tiers across the board at every position when it comes to. We've got some A tier guys. They've got some C to D tier guys in some position units. This is clearly a better matchup for us. They return some of the lowest production in all of college football. Syracuse does, and they don't really have anything there to show. They've got a 5-star wide receiver transfer. Again, you got to have somebody to throw it to, and we're in a great position right now. All reports lead that this defense is going to be as good as advertised.
And I'm hearing good things about a secondary that we didn't even necessarily think about, like Jalen McMurray.
Yeah, and Colton Hood. Colton Hood.
I'm hearing great things about it.
You're seeing guys who are playing at a professional demeanor. You don't typically see this out of programs this early on. I'm hoping it'll lead to sustaining success. We have for probably 3 years, but we've got kind of like an ace in the back of our pocket, whereas they're playing with a 2-7 offsuit. Yeah, they're going to bluff a little bit. They're going to have to. I don't think that we're mentally weak enough to really bust on it because it's all going to have to come from their offensive side because they're not going to put up points. I give the most points they probably could score is 17. I'm thinking this is going to be a 10. I like the 10-42, and I know that's just rude to Syracuse. But we are just able to run the ball. We have an upgraded and more, I would say, mobile offensive line. And I'm going to say the word just to appease to Maverick over here. For a veer and shoot offense, you want to have guys that can come across into A gap. You want to have guys that can do cool things because you're playing with a light box. We're going to have 250 rushing yards.
It's an NC State game 2.0 where it could be tight in the first half, but then something happens right before halftime that really breaks it open, and then Tennessee just absolutely runs away with it.
That's exactly what's going to go on. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. The thing that's tough about this one is there is so much uncertainty. Fran Brown can get guys early, so I mean this game could be a 14 right on the dot where you push it, but. I don't know. Again, this just feels like everything leads to the Vols dominating in every position unit. There's no question on there. They're better in every single unit. There's nowhere you can point me different. If you want to argue quarterback, you'll see on Saturday. The guy just has to drive the Ferrari. He doesn't have to floor it. So, again, great stuff. Those are my 5. I think I go 5-0. Got to be confident.
Yeah, so just recapping those picks real quick. So Jake's picks are Notre Dame -2.5 on the road at Miami, Auburn -2 on the road at Baylor, Texas money line at Ohio State, Clemson -3.5 at home against LSU, and Tennessee -14 neutral site against Syracuse. So once again, just want to thank Action 247 for sponsoring this segment. Just a reminder, we're going to have this on the screen every single week. If you do have a gambling problem, make sure you do call the hotline. It's 1-800-889-9789. Also, don't bet any money that you don't have. Oh, you don't want to get into any financial trouble by betting money.
You don't get
don't
credit
have.
points on gambling.
Exactly.
Don't do it. Don't make no sense.
Yeah, you don't. And then, Action 247, these other sports books, they're absolutely going to try to entice you to take these parlays. Please do not parlay these picks together. Jake is good.
Unless Unless it's an emotional hedge bet.
Even then, do not do
No,
it.
I did it for the team last year. Look, you know what it got me?
Lost money.
An ass whooping in Columbus. That's what it got me. But it's fine.
Yeah. But no, make sure you don't bet money that you don't have. Don't parlay these picks together. Although, Action 247 has said that these Raking with Jake picks here, there will be a odds boost on the app. So I mean, there is better odds there, but still, we do not recommend that you parlay these together.
How quick is that going to get put in? Like, are they watching right now and they're about to make this a thing? Because
as soon as the show is over with, I'm going to tweet out and tag them in it, and then they're going to do it from there. I will say this: we do not have the promo code yet. I talked with Andrew Jacks this week. He is the main guy at Action 247. Should have the promo code by the end of this week, so we will go ahead and put it out on socials. If you are a new user, all you have to do is put in our promo code, and I do believe that you'll get so much in free bets that you can put in. I don't know that for certain, but we do have a promo code that you can put in for new users, and be on the lookout throughout the season for some promo codes for existing users as well. So exciting things this season.
Might have to create a new account, you know what I'm saying? I'm joking, guys. This has been awesome, man. This has been awesome. This is so cool to have. Thank you, Action 247. Yeah. And thank you, Jake, for continuing this. This is the sequel series. And it all starts this week, man. It's going to be a good week.
Absolutely. So what's USF right now? Are they blowing them out?
What is the score?
Before we get off, I want to share it because I'm feeling a 35-7 right now.
I could probably turn on the TV here. Hang on.
I'm pulling up the score real quick.
Let me put on
34-7.
Goodness!
I try to tell y'all, listen to me a little bit, okay?
That's insane.
Was that the final?
This man's actually cooking.
Wow.
This man's actually cooking.
Golly.
Whatever.
That was good. I think that's how you end the show.
So Skylar, just giving you an update on that Missouri game. It's 40-0 now. So,
dude, I should get a bonus point. No, I'm joking. You don't have to. But I told you, I didn't know the game had even started, and I was like, yeah, they're gonna cover that easily. So I feel good about that one. All right, fellas, it's been real. It's been fun. I've got to go get this boat up another about 300 miles on the river. So I'm gonna go get some rest, and we'll circle back. And next week I will be back in the studio, and we'll have a good show. And I can't wait, man. This is all Navy time, baby. Let's go.
But Skylar, real quick, Jake and I talked about it last week. Is this not the best weekend of football? I mean, you get college football literally Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and Monday night. You get 5 straight nights of college football.
And you want to know why it's the best? You want to know why it's the best? You get Monday off. Okay, stick with me.
Yeah.
Stick with me. And I ain't got to hear about NFL bullcrap. Okay, this is all college football.
Exactly.
This is all college football, baby. Yeah. Go Vols, baby.
Exactly. But Jake, appreciate you coming on again tonight. Looking forward to next week.
Absolutely.
Go be on.
So, Skylar?
Yes.
Anything else before we close out the show?
Dude, honestly, it's just so cool. This is the first show I've been on that we've announced the Action 247 partnership. Super cool to have. I think it's awesome for Jake. It's awesome for us. It's a great time to have. They have no control over Alabama not being able to gamble, but I'm going to keep making fun of it. No, it's so cool. I am very much looking forward to this year. I think it's going to be a fun season. It's football. We're going to have a good time no matter what. But overall, man, it's official. We got our picks in. I'm going to send you the Georgia and Alabama picks because I technically didn't do those yet. But overall, man, it's going to be great and a fun year. And
it is. And a shout out to the both of us. I don't remember the exact date. I'll have to look back in my memories, but we're entering our 3rd season doing this together now. And just want to give a big shout out to all of our listeners, all of our subscribers. Could not do this without any of you. I mean, Obviously, we started off with just the two of us and our parents and wives listening to this, and that was about it. And now we're up to almost 450 subs strong on YouTube. We got a big following base on Facebook as well. I think we're up to like 480 something there. So thank you to every one of you who supports the show, watches us each and every week, watches our videos on playback, listens on Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff. Just thank you to everyone for all of that.
Hold up, Michael. This is our third year.
This is our third year.
What's the record between me and you in this competition?
All right, it's time to close out this show here tonight. Now, Skylar is up 2-0 on me on the pick segment, but you know what? It's going to change this year as Michael is going to get his first one.
Dude, I need to introduce you to my friend Owen.
Yeah, I'm not falling for that one.
0-2. All right.
Now, I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. Looking forward to a big weekend in college football. And as always, everybody, go Big Orange.